Yeah, I'm kind of always interested in the origins of our culture. And something that we know that is that, we're often driven by, love and compassion, other positive sentiments, but it's also our nature to be driven by fear of what we don't understand. We can lose control of situations, the unpredictable environment around us, and the supernatural still scares us today. In the ancient world, mysticism ruled. And it was that way until science became more of a dominant force as we go through history. But one of the great works of literature, the Odyssey, is chock full of these life lessons about human nature, but also about things we fear, monsters, witches, the uncontrollable, even ourselves.
Fantastic. We have got Alan K. Patch with us today. He joins us live here on the telephone. And so give me some details and some background. Who was the original witch?
Well, her name is Circe. And, it's no wonder the author of Game of Thrones, picked that name for the diabolical Queen of Westeros, who had the same name, just probably spelled differently. But she's one of the challenges that the sea-tossed explorer Odysseus encounters on his voyage home. She commands an island from which men never return. But here's a different take on her. In the Odyssey, she's not really a witch. She's really a beautiful goddess, and she's using her powers to rule the island that she's on. Here's one of the points, Jiggy. In the distant past, women ruled many societies. They were priestesses and earth goddesses, and they understood the seasons, planting, agriculture, cycles of the moon. Maybe while the men were out hunting, the women brought up the children and sort of was stabilization of society. And the children were named after the mother, not the father. But then throughout history, this culture, these societies were overtaken by, nomadic peoples, especially coming from the east, with sky and thunder gods, and the men took over, and now the children were named after the father. So these earth goddess societies were conquered, and the symbol of fertility in these cultures was the snake. And so it makes sense now as we kind of start to see how the snake became a symbol of evil. So Circe is a powerful goddess, and she's a representation, of a woman in charge, and she can cast her spell on men who can't resist her to their everlasting doom, Ziggy.
We have got a great guest with us today. Of course, he joins us each and every week, Alan K. Patch. He's one of our regular contributors here on our big broadcast, and Alan is with us today. We've got a Halloween-themed segment here. We're talking about witches, and he gave us some details there on who the original witch was. And you can pick up Alan's books online, akpatchauthor.com. Go over to akpatchauthor.com. That's Alan K. Patch. And he joins us today here on our program. Now, what did she do to Odious and some of the men on her island?
Well, this is the interesting part, because when you look at witches and what they're supposed to be capable of today, it's kind of almost exactly what she was able to do to Odysseus and her men on this island. So listen to this. She uses a potent, like a potion to, cloud their minds and their will. All right. She casts a spell on them. She uses a wand. She can change her victims into animals, because what she does is she turns Odysseus' men into pigs. And then she can use sex as a lure. So all these things are sort of associated with the witches we have today. And it's just kind of interesting to go back and look at this concept of what witches are capable of.
We have got Alan K. Patch joining us today here on our program. Of course, akpatchauthor.com is the official website. Check it out today, akpatchauthor.com. Pick up his incredible, just a series of books over there, the great trilogy. And now, what happened to Odious here, Alan?
Well, here's what happened is one of his men didn't drink the potion and ran back to the ship and told him. And so Odysseus has to get there and try to rescue his men. But on the way, there's a messenger god named Hermes, and he warns him of what Circe might do to him. In other words, avoid don't drink the potion. And and don't belittle them. So it makes you kind of think, do we need male gods to rescue us from the powers of this goddess or this woman? So he's able to ward off her charms and her manipulations, and he gets his men back, forces her to turn his men back from pigs into his sailors, and then he gets on his ship and he goes on a misadventure. But here's the point: Circe is not really a witch. She's really a beautiful goddess with powers that men feared. Over time, this concept resulted in the deaths of many women who were feared in concert with the devil. And I have a little story for you. I grew up in Salem, Massachusetts at one point, and I was a baseball pitcher, Jiggy. And one of the new mounds back in the 70s was at this place called Gallows Hill. Okay?
Okay.
What does this
yes.
So I would stand on that mound, and I would look behind the backdrop and up in this hill, and that was Gallows Hill, and that's where they actually had done the dirty deed back in the 1600s, where they murdered these women who were accused of being witches after the Salem witch trials. So anyway,
Wow.
It's just kind of interesting. Today we come to understand this concept of witch was really a demonization of women and these pagan religions. So, like I was saying, it's kind of interesting to see where these things come from in our culture.
Yes, very much so. We have got Alan K. Patch with us today. akpatchauthor.com is the official website. Check out Alan K. Patch each and every week on our big broadcast, and also he has got some amazing books over there. Now, how do your books tie in with today's topic?
Well, here's the thing, Jiggy. I have a character, and he's a kind of a brutal warlord from the ancient world, and he's wronged by my modern-day professors, a woman professor. He considers her a sorceress or a witch, and he vows to end her days, no matter where it takes him, even if it's to the future. So in my book series, my characters might come from the present to the past, but also I have characters that come from the past to the present. It just kind of sets up a lot of drama in the story, and things that go wrong for each of these characters. Just kind of part of the fun for an author, Jiggy, to set these things up, set up all these twists and turns.
Definitely. Now, Alan K. Patch is with us today. Of course, akpatchauthor.com is the official website. You can go check that out today. It's akpatchauthor.com. And Alan, before we let you go, what's next for you as an author?
I'm writing a new book, a standalone story. It's going to be a paranormal story, and I'm working on it right now, right before I got on the air. And I will give you more details about it on another show, but it's going well, and I'm nearly finished the first draft, so getting ready to get it into production.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on the big broadcast, and happy Halloween, my friend.
Yeah, happy Halloween to you, Jiggy. Talk to you again.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Alan K. Patch. We are going to take a time out and come back with more.